We're going to be talking mainly about teaching and teaching career, this kind of stuff, or something a little more general?
Um,
Just so I have an idea, before we start.
just teaching in general.
Sure,
I don't want to like say anything specifically in one path.
it's fine.
Just because everything's great. I
Sure.
don't know.
So we'll just go with the flow. All right. So
Um,
anything you want, there, Bobby. I'll do my very best to help you.
I got a few questions. I'm not sure where to start. Oh, why did you want to become a teacher?
Well, that's a funny story. To show you how things change. Actually, Bob, when I was in college, I was in pre-law. I was studying criminal justice and all that, and I wanted to be a lawyer. I was pretty sure that that's what I wanted to do. And my uh, junior year, I decided, well, I'll take a double major. Maybe there's something else in case I can't get a law job right away or be a lawyer right away. Law school is expensive. Maybe I could teach. But it was my second choice. It wasn't my first choice for my career. So to make a long story short, I started taking the education classes my senior year right on St. Patrick's Day. After a St. Patrick's Day party, I got run down by a drunk driver. And I mean, tossed in the air and, half dead. So I never, I couldn't go to the actual graduation in college. The professors had to bring everything to the hospital. I was in Silver Cross Hospital in Joliet. They were very nice about it. I graduated, but I mean, I never walked because I couldn't walk. My knees were both decimated. And a friend of mine over the summer called me and said, "Have you applied to law school?" And I said, "Man, I've been in the hospital." He says, "Well, why don't you? There's a teaching job open in Chicago at this Catholic school." He said, "Why don't you maybe think about doing that until you get back on your feet, and then you can go to law school. You can do what you want to do." And then blah, blah, blah. I said, "Okay." And Bobby, I fell in love with it. It was the most amazing thing. So I started teaching in Chicago after I got out of the hospital and whatever. And I fell in love with teaching, and I never looked back. I never went to law school, and I wouldn't trade it in for the world. So you can see my path is kind of a little stranger than most. Although by my junior year, I did have an idea that that might be something I'd want to do, but it was meant to be a fallback. It was never meant to be my career. A drunk driver changed my whole life for the worse and for the better.
Did you start out here or did you
No,
start out in another?
I started out in the Chicago Catholic schools. I was there for about 20 years. I This is about the time that I got my master's degrees and my doctorate, and I wanted to be a principal. Um, and at that time, the Catholic schools didn't have many lay people as principals. And you wouldn't know that because you're used to, the whole school here is run by lay people. But in those days, you had to be a priest or a brother to be an administrator. So I went into the Hammond public school system for about 3 years. I just There was a big difference to me between the Catholic schools and the public schools. And it's not that there were good kids there and good teachers.